This is Sigmund Bloom with 7 training camp wide receiver stories you need to know. First, let's go to New Orleans. Well, I'm in New Orleans where Michael Thomas is suited up and looking basically like his old self, showing no signs of lingering issues from the 2 ankle surgeries he had. His demonstrated number 1 wide receiver overall upside, plus Jameis Winston, gives him more than enough reason to be taken at his ADP right now, which is surely to go up. Over in Los Angeles with the Rams, Allen Robinson is really the sensation of camp. Everybody is glowing about him in the Rams offense. We already saw what Odell Beckham could do, what Robert Woods could do. This should take this offense to an even higher level. And Allen Robinson, surely to see his ADP rise, has an opportunity to give this offense 2 fantasy wide receiver ones, 2 top 10, top 12 wide receivers, and help Matthew Stafford. Going down to Tampa Bay, we have 2 items that we'll just combine into one. Julio Jones there, maybe at this point in his career, not a ton of fantasy value, perhaps as a late round best ball hit. And Chris Godwin, not going to start camp on the PUP. Now, Jones being there does give the team a little more leeway to ease Chris Godwin into the lineup, but Chris Godwin is more likely to hit the higher end range of outcomes, assuming the first year back from the ACL doesn't make him not quite the player he was before. His ADP is going to go up. Russell Gage's ADP may go down. Mike Evans' ADP may go down. I'm not sure if that is the right answer here, as 3 wide receivers were top 13 wide receivers on a points per game basis in PPR leagues in this offense last year. Also, replacing Rob Gronkowski was what the team mentioned when they were talking about the Julio Jones signing. Jones also has to stay healthy and be relevant. The main thing we can take out of this, folks, is Tom Brady is again undervalued. Going up to Buffalo, Isaiah McKenzie, a wide open slot receiver position with Cole Beasley still looking to catch on with the team not going to be back in Buffalo. He was actually more productive than Beasley when he replaced him last year. Maybe he will take that spot over Jamison Crowder, although 5th round rookie Khalil Shakir will have to stake his claim to that spot in time. Maybe not this year. James Cook's also catching a bunch of balls as a receiver out of the backfield, so keep track of all those targets in Buffalo. Speaking of receivers catching the ball out of the backfield, a wide receiver item about running backs? Yes, 2 running backs, Nyheim Hines in Indianapolis, Tony Pollard in Dallas. Speaking of the slot receiver position, they could see an additional value as a part-time slot receiver. Team wants to get the ball in the hands of each of these players in some way that doesn't take away from Jonathan Taylor or Ezekiel Elliott, gets them on the field in PPR leagues. There's a lot more upside both weekly and for the season with Hines and Pollard. Heading out to San Francisco last year, there was 2 reveals that surprised us in week 1. It was Brandon Aiyuk really not playing a big role, and then Trey Sermon. Both chances of players of having a chance of redemption this year. Sermon, well, we'll monitor him in a wide open running back 2 battle behind Elijah Mitchell, but Brandon Aiyuk caught the message. Tons of positive buzz about him as a leader, as a player that is ready to be the deep threat for Trey Lance. And Trey Lance, of course, the unquestioned starter for this team with Jimmy Garoppolo referred to in the past tense. So maybe, again, the bottom line here is Trey Lance is undervalued. You can wait a quarterback this year and maybe get the quarterback 1, Brady. Lance, quarterback 1 could be Kyler Murray. Let's go to Arizona for our last item. Not a positive item here as Marquise Brown starts camp on the NFI list with a hamstring injury. Now, there's no outward indications this is a severe hamstring injury, but with a speed wide receiver, once the injury seal is broken on those hamstrings, we want to see him get back to practice, have a week or so without incident, because this could be something that really torpedoes his season. And with DeAndre Hopkins suspended for the first 6 games, could get this offense off to a slow start if Marquise Brown is not able to provide his speed. We're providing everything you want and need at Football Guys. Folks, the ride is just getting started.